Hi, I am Tay with Tay Results. Today I am auditing a tree service business here in Knoxville, Tennessee called Tree Service DENVER Vasquez. Uh, let's see how their online presence stacks up and how they can rank higher on Google. Because if you're not ranking high on Google, you are missing money. You are leaving money on the table. So, just by following the pointers I have uh, in this video, it will get you ranking higher and set you on the right path. So, let's get going. The first thing I like to do is just Google their name and see what pops up. And basically, what I'm looking for here is if they are competing with any other businesses that has a similar name, or if there are any other pages that are diluting from their information and their websites popping up on the first page, which doesn't seem to be the case, so we can move on from that. Um, Next thing I like to do is I like to be pretend like I am a potential client in Knoxville searching for tree services, which is their main keyword, and see if their business pops up. Now, if this was a more extensive audit I'm doing for my client, then I would do a actual grid search, which will give more accurate results. But for the sake of this audit, I am going to see if their business information pops up to begin with and around what rank they are in. So ignoring the sponsored. Yes, they do. They are around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, they're ranking too low, and you want to really be top three because the top three in the search results gets you 60 to 70% of all click-through rates. So just imagine 60 to 70% of potential clients you could have had are all going to top three. So you really want to be ranking higher on Google. You're missing out on a lot of potential clients here. So, however, their information is popping up, so that is good. Just means they gotta tweak, change a few things, get some strategy going on to start ranking higher. Let's have a closer look at their GBP. Let's start from reviews. Reviews, yes, 9. Immediately stands out to me as being a little low, especially because I have audited a lot of tree services in Knoxville, and 9 is on the very lower end. But good news is Google ranks more heavily on velocity more so than volume, meaning they care more about new consistent reviews than total count. And if I was Tree Service DENVER Vasquez, I would aim for having at least 2 to 3 review coming in per week. I do work with the clients I work with, give them some pointers and tips on how to set up a system in order to achieve that. Uh, now, if Now, a steady stream of recent reviews, again, signals to Google that it is an active, trusted business. It increases your trustworthiness in the eyes of Google Robot. Think of it that way. And photos basically does the same thing. The more different types of photos you have, and the more quantity of photos you have, it increases your trustworthiness for Google, and it also increases engagement for clients, or I mean future potential clients actually looking at your profile picture. I mean, not your profile picture, sorry. Looking at your business profile. So for them, they could have more. And they also have duplicate photos like this. Google does recognize duplicate photos. So if you have too many stock or duplicate photos, that you do run the risk of being flagged as a spam. Uh, but that's something easy to do. Just make it a routine to add photos and try to geotag them as well. Let's have a look at their. I'm gonna go to Google Maps, see their category. Now, category is one of the more important things you could do while setting up your GBP, and they have one. Okay, so this is great. Tree Service competing for the main keyword being Tree Service, setting it as the category is what I recommend. It is what they're doing right. As a general rule of thumb, I don't recommend diluting your categories too much, meaning only have one, at max three, secondary and third subcategories, as to not confuse the Google algorithms on what you do exactly. So I'll just leave that as Tree Service, keep it as one. Now, when I say this, you might be wondering, okay, what about all the other search queries for people searching for tree trimming or pruning, etc. Well, Google lets you have at least 99 services that you can list, and I recommend having at least 30, and the top 20 of them having descriptions to really try to capture those long end, right end tail, the right tail of broad search queries and keywords. And overall, with GBP, basically all the tedious questions Google asks you to fill out, you want to have done. You want to set aside like 20 minutes and answer all the questions Google's asking you when you're setting up your GBP. It increases your trustworthiness in the eyes of Google, and it will help you rank higher. One of the more important ones from them being the booking links and the Q&A and fact entries, which the Tree Service DENVER Vasquez does not seem to have. So that is one low-hanging fruit that they can add for their GBP. Also, it doesn't look like they answered a lot of the questions. That little circle when you're looking at your GBP profile, you want that to be green. You want to fill up as much as possible. Let's have a closer look at their website as well. So first things first, the title tag, Tree Service Company, Tennessee, Trusted Tree Care. If I'm working with Denver Tree Service, that's fine. Maybe they can add their business name to the title tag. Their H1 tag, Tree Services Tennessee, perfect. For H1 tags, I'm looking for keyword and city or their location. Perfect. So they're doing a good job with that. NAP. So NAP is basically your name, address, and phone number, and you want that to be consistent throughout all of your online presence: Facebook, your social medias, your website, your GBP. And when I say consistent, I mean the exact spelling as well. So here, if you say Sanderson Road as an RD, I want to see on their website if they have their address written down here somewhere. Oh, so they do have that. To be spelled the same, basically. You don't want to, completely spell out road on your website as ROAD if you on your GBP have it as RD. And their website overall looks really good. I do think they might have hired somebody to create their website for them. If not, maybe they're just very, very talented. Maybe the business owner is very talented at creating websites. Anyways, not to get distracted too much, another thing about websites I recommend having is having the Google Maps embedded in here, and it looks like they do. So that is perfect. Also helps with ranking higher. Let me see. I did see a lot of the websites, pages, but I want to see how many of there are indexed. And okay, so they have 1, 2, 3, 4 pages indexed. I want to see at least 30 index pages. they did a perfect job here having a lot of these pages. I was going to suggest, and when I'm working with my clients, out of those 30 recommended index pages, I focus on having service-based pages and area-based pages. A lot of your content should revolve around those two. They have it, but it's not indexed. So this is going to be a Google Search Console thing, and also some code thing. And they might want to see why their pages aren't showing up on Google yet. When currently, despite them having a tree trimming service page, for instance, it's not being indexed and it's not showing up if somebody's searching the tree cutting service Tennessee, for example. So I would look into what's going on here. They are probably SSL certified, meaning they have the HTTPS. Yep. Let's also have a look at their page speed. Now, page speed is one thing Google mentions themselves directly influences the ranking of your website and your business. I want to see at least a score of 70 for both mobile and desktop. And we'll let that load. And while we let that load, I could actually look at the local schema. And what a local schema is it's a schema is a structured data. So it's a way of packaging your business information so Google can read it instantly without guessing. Your name, address, phone number, hours, services, all confirmed in the format Google prefers. And adding this doesn't take long, and it removes any ambiguity about who you are and where you operate in the eyes of Google. And they do have it, which is great. I wonder if they used AI to create that website, because a lot of AIs show this. But they do have a service type error here, so which is an easy fix. But this is perfect. They do have a local business schema. Articles, fact page, web pages too. Yeah, so perfect. Oh, but their website performance is very low. So if I was working with Tree Service Denver Vasquez, I would look at their backend code and see how we can improve this. A lot of it has to do with the content loading and the speed, the content loading, like the pictures and stuff. So moving on, however, that's another easy thing they can fix, the website speed. Citations. Now, if I was doing an extensive audit, again, I have a tool I use to see what all citations they currently have, and that's where your NAP consistency becomes important. It links all these things together in the eyes of Google and not confuses them as different businesses. But for the sake of today, I'm just going to see what sort of directories they are popping up. So Reddit, MapQuest, Yelp, Facebook, BBB. Citations is probably one thing I will focus on for them. So say they're listed on Yelp, Facebook, and Nextdoor, but I don't see them on Apple Maps or Bing Places, for example, which are all high authority directories. When Google sees your business information confirmed across multiple trusted platforms, it builds confidence that your listing is legitimate. And the more consistent, high-quality citations you have, the stronger that trust signal becomes. So if I was working with Tree Service Denver Vasquez, citations is probably one thing I will focus on, which does come in the later phases of things, but yes. Now, if you are, have I been saying Denver instead of Denver Vasquez? If I was, I apologize. But if you are the owner of Tree Service Denver Vasquez and you want to take these things more seriously, then you can always reach out to me. I will be more than willing to let you know how I can help out. And I hope this video helped you, and doing a couple of these things will put you on the right path. So I wish you all the best. If you do have more questions for me, or if you do want to see how I can help you rank top 3, then please go to tayresults.com and reach out to me directly. Thank you.